writing this was actually a little difficult for me, mainly because you want to do a good job, you know, and it's like, well, what do I say? So I was Googling, I'm trying to figure out how do you deliver a good keynote address. You know, I think what I'm going to say is very authentic, and it's something I wanted to deliver to the graduates, mainly because I am one of you, as Marie said. So, I'm going to officially begin now in light of all of that. Good morning, Ms. Johnson, Mr. Strong, Mr. Johnson, distinguished guests, friends, faculty, and graduates. Before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge the late Ronald G. Philibert Jr.
Yeah.
Mr. Philibert was a friend and an employee of the district for more than 30 years. And I think that everybody that knew him was probably better for that. And I honor Mr. Philibert personally. He passed in 2007, which was a little while ago. But being up here today, I did want to acknowledge him and his granddaughter April, who happens to be here with my family today. I'd like to thank the class of 2015 for having me, and I'd like to thank Malik for the warm introduction. I did not pay him for those kinds of things. And I'd like to thank Ms. Joyce Scott for asking me to come in here and do this as well. Now, as I stand here, I honestly can't believe that it's been 12 years since I roamed these very hallways. I remember hanging out in the Commons. I remember playing spades with my friends at lunchtime. I remember spending free periods in the media center giving Ms. Scott grief. But as I stand here 12 years after my time at Hempstead High School came to an end, I can truly say that everything Malik mentioned in terms of accomplishments pale in comparison to this. Being asked to deliver the keynote address at my Hempstead High School, in my community, in front of you, friends, family, and graduates, my people, for me, it's never gotten any better than that. And the reason why it gets no better is because no matter where I go, and I get in my car and I drive down South Franklin Street, or I drive down Westbury Boulevard to go see my Aunt Pat, something like that. There's just a feeling of pride that I have coming from this community, my community, despite what everybody else may want to say or write about Hempstead. Good things do come from this community. So like I said, I am so Hempstead. I am so 11550. I am so Heights, so Hills, so Midway, so D-Block, so Terrace, so Trackside, so Parkside. I assume you guys still call all those neighborhoods those names. I assume. But the major point is that I am one of you. And as I walk here through the B building and I see Miss Aki Wowo, who I remember had me in 7th grade, I don't even know if she remembers me, but it just gives me special pride. And I mean, before the suits and before the haircuts and the television appearances, I was just Jamoki, just like a lot of you feel like you're just somebody. That's just another student at Hempstead High School trying to find your way, trying to figure out where you fit in the world and what you would do with your life. I sat exactly where you're sitting today. I was here 12 years ago. I can relate to you. I know what you went through. I know what it took to get here. And I know that deep down inside, you have even more potential than you could have ever even imagined. And because of all that stuff, there were some people that thought that I could deliver a good message to you. And again, to me, that's just very, very humbling. Now, the truth of the matter is, me, myself, I'm still on my own personal journey. And as I continue to strive for the things I hope to achieve, I can't help but to think of an important question that somebody asked me a few months ago, even before I was asked to speak here, and I thought that this was the most appropriate thing to say. A few months back, a former educator of mine asked me a very good question. She said, Jamoki, if you could go back in time and say 3 words to your 20-year-old self. Only 3 words. 20-year-old self, that would have been 10 years ago, so I'm not that old. What would you say to yourself? You could say 3 words. And I thought about it, and it was difficult, but the words eventually came to mind. Just keep going. I could have gone with Carmelo Green, but there's probably a lot of new fans in here that would get mad at me. Just keep going, other people. And as you sit on the stage today, I know that there are a fair amount of you heading to Ivy League colleges, and some heading to state and community college. I know that there's some of you heading to the military, and some of you heading into the workforce. Perhaps there's some of you who have recently begun or will begin families. No matter where you're going, what you'll be doing, or where you'll eventually find yourselves, I promise you that your life is just truly beginning. And after today, when you walk out, you're going to encounter challenges that you've never faced before. No matter what you do or where you go, I'll tell you this, you're going to encounter those challenges. And you are not likely to succeed at every single thing you try, at least not on the first attempt. And if you do, I would be willing to bet that that just meant that you did not try enough new things. 12 years ago, when I sat where you're sitting here today, I didn't know that failure was a part of life and that it was a part of the process. And I remember when I was sitting here in 2003, I remember being afraid. I was afraid of the challenges that I knew that I was going to face once I walked out of the doors of Hempstead High School and left Hempstead. I was afraid of being an adult who could no longer depend on my parents to wake me up in the morning or cook me dinner at night. And I was afraid of being a failure. And as a first-generation American by way of Jamaica, Baba, and Jamaicans here. My parents, and I'm sure it's something that a lot of us can relate to as a kid. My parents risked a lot. They sacrificed a lot for my brothers and me. And for that reason, I've been afraid of disappointing them, and I'm still doing my best. But my freshman year in college was tough. I was at Columbia University. I was intimidated. I was nervous. I felt out of place. And after my freshman year, I found myself in academic probation. After being an honor student my entire life, during my freshman year at Columbia, I failed 2 classes. First time in my life. And I will always remember the summer of 2004. It was the lowest point of my life personally because I just was not used to that type of failure. But it was during that summer that I understood something very, very important. Introspection led me to this. There's a huge difference between experiencing failure and being a failure.
How about that?
Experiencing failure to me means that you didn't succeed at something that you tried. But being a failure means that you stopped trying. So that's why in the face of tough circumstances and bad situations, whether it be at work, school, with your family, or elsewhere, the obstacles, I guarantee you, will come. And some of them will get the best of you. You're gonna experience failure in some way, shape, or form, but whether or not you will be a failure depends on how you handle those challenging circumstances. So when you encounter a challenge and it gets the best of you, what you must always remember, my 3 words, dust yourself off, stand up, hold your head up high, and just keep going. Almost done, gotta get my moment this time, you know what I mean? But I can assure you of this, graduates, no matter where you go, no matter what you do along the way, there are going to be a lot of people telling telling you what you can and cannot do.
My.
They'll say you can't succeed because of where you come from, or maybe they'll tell you that nothing good comes from Hempstead. And I'm here to tell you that's garbage. And I know because I live here, and I'm standing here today. And when it comes to Hempstead, our home, our town, the outsiders want to focus on the negativity. The outsiders don't know anything about LaJohn McFadden. He's one of my best friends who was born and raised on Grove Street in Hempstead and moved to Parkside and was there for a couple of years. LaJohn came from nothing, and today LaJohn is a senior associate at an investment firm in Manhattan. And LaJohn is, what do the kids say, making guap, making bank, is that, do y'all still say that? Making guap, he's doing okay. LaJohn started here, and nobody wants to tell you about some of the gifted professional athletes that we have in our town. Guys that are your contemporaries, guys like Terrell Holloway, or Robin Walker, or Devine Jackson, or Alden Scott, or Eric Ferguson, or Tavares Bell. People don't want to tell you about the success stories that come from Hempstead. Nobody wants you to know that you can come from Hempstead and end up a successful registered nurse like Alexis Smith or Melody Crawley, or an amazing teacher like Tommy Arnold, or Joy Bodden, or Jessica Vereen, or I know some of you guys know Miss Fox, like Mr. Fox, she was one of us too. Successful entrepreneurs like Ian McKay, or Edith Jennings, or Alexia Smith. Successful attorneys like Joseph Cousins, or Tiffany Sutherland. Or federal officers and law enforcers like Matthew Blair and Roman Petway. You see how easy that is? I just rattled off a good 15, 20 names of people that came from here, that sat where you sat, that are doing big things out in the world today. That's amazing. So I'm here to tell you, you can do anything you want to do, you can be anything you want to be, you can go anywhere you want to go. You put your mind to it, you make a plan for yourself, you execute that plan, and you remain steadfast in the pursuit of your goals. You do those things that no matter what, you always remember that when the obstacles and the roadblocks arise, you just keep going. You can get to wherever you want to end up. Growing up and succeeding coming from this community is not easy, I know, because I did it too. But you've made it to this point. You finished this chapter, and now it's time to begin the next one. We've gotten some stark reminders over the past few years, I guess, from Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, from a lot of the circumstances that we've been faced as a people collectively. We know for sure that you still live in a world today where people are going to judge you based on how you look and what they perceive about you. And we have seen today firsthand, and unfortunately, the black man, the black woman, and people of color generally do not get the benefit of the doubt. We know that. So prepare for the doubters, prepare for the haters, and most importantly, prepare for the failure. Because always remember, there's a distinct difference between experiencing failure and being a failure. And the difference between those two is usually determined by whether or not you stop trying or you just keep going. I know you have what it takes to make your dreams come true, and I know because I have it in me too. So to the graduating class of 2015, again, I congratulate you. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I wish you nothing but success in the future and